Welcome to Navigating the Alabama Learning Exchange, or ALEX. This video is offered as support to K-12 teachers in Alabama as they learn to utilize the vast resources available in ALEX, and is set up for teachers to open ALEX and click along with the video. Feel free to pause as needed. Navigate to the Alabama Learning Exchange website at alabamalearningexchange.org. This will take you to the homepage of ALEX. Here you will find recent updates and announcements. Click Let's Get Started to dive into all that ALEX has to offer. Although this may seem out of order, we are going to start with the last tab. This tab provides access to the Alabama Academic Standards and is represented by a map. Users will see standards sorted by framework categories. Academic standards are at the top, listed by subject area. As you scroll down the page, you will find frameworks for career technical education, alternate achievement standards, WIDA development standards, assessment frameworks, and retired standards. Users are able to view all standards without creating an account or signing in. For our example, let's access the Digital Literacy and Computer Science Standards 2025 edition. After selecting the desired subject matter, it will open to a grade level list on the left. Selecting a grade level. For our example, we have selected Grade 3, which reveals the conceptual themes. These conceptual themes are computational thinking, data science, computing systems, impact of computing, and digital proficiency, and are the same for all grade levels. Next, in our example, we selected computational thinking, which reveals the focus areas for this theme. Next, we select one of the focus areas: algorithms, abstraction, and decomposition. This then reveals specific content standards. Let's dissect a standard identifier. The arrow is indicating DLCS, represents the subject or discipline. 25 represents the year 2025 these standards were adopted. 3 is the grade level. CT represents the conceptual theme of computational thinking. AAD represents the focus area of algorithms, abstraction, and decomposition. The circle indicates specific standards. DLCS and 25.3 represent the same as previously mentioned. The point and the number that follows represent that particular standard. As you look at different conceptual themes and focus areas, you see this pattern continues. When you click on a specific standard, or the arrows at the end of the standard, another window will appear with some information and options. Options like copy, pin, or print the standard, accessing the standard's metadata, or utilizing a QR code to access the standards on a mobile device. The most helpful information is provided by the green buttons, with notations of cross-curriculum standards that are building blocks for the selected standard. Let's move to signing in. While you are able to browse many features on the ALEX website without signing in allows you to add to your content collections, edit, copy, and share lessons and resources. To sign in, click Sign in the upper right-hand corner. A window will open that gives you options to create an account with your professional email address or sign in with Google. Make sure your choice is in compliance with your district's policies. Once you are signed in, there are 5 tabs to help you navigate this site. The first is Home. This tab houses announcements, updates, tech tips, and ways to connect with ALEX, like subscribing to its website. The second tab is for Course Content Collections. Here you can search for lessons and other resources by grade level, subject, or search the site content. When you select Search Site Content, a new window opens with more options. Decide which place you would like the search to occur, whether the entire site or another course, repository, or collection. Other options include searching by keywords or standards. You can also narrow the search by selecting a subject. In this example, DLCS standards have been selected, then a keyword search for ethics was submitted. The list that appears offers many lesson plans and resources. The purple buttons on the right correspond with associations or connections with other standards. Some of these associations are crosswalks that connect new standards to older standards. Other associations show vertical progressions, how standards progress across different grade levels. Clicking on these associations will open the connected standards. Select a lesson or resource by clicking on its title. The detailed plan or resource will open. On the left are components of the lesson plan. They include content standards, overview and objectives, preparation and background knowledge, instructional sequence, and assessment. Select one of these to navigate to that section. At the bottom left corner are options to assist you in how you would like to use this lesson plan. These options are print the lesson, open the lesson in a new window, copy lesson link to the clipboard, copy the lesson plan for your use, and finally, options to share this lesson plan with other teachers. While these resources are vetted for quality and pedagogy, please ensure any materials you use align with your district's acceptable use policy. To share or access a lesson via code, follow these steps. Open the lesson plan and click Share Lesson with other educators at the bottom to receive your unique code. The educator you're sharing the code with will navigate to the location they wish to house the lesson. For example, My Content Sandbox. They will select Lessons, then click Add Content at the bottom. Then choose Import Shared, and then Import Shared Lesson. Enter the code and click Import. When prompted, select one of the following. Copy, creates a standalone version of the lesson, or Shortcut, links to the original lesson. Any updates made by the owner will automatically reflect in your shortcut. The third tab is the Resource Repositories. Here you can explore these resources from the Alabama State Department of Education in the areas of curriculum planning, instructional supports, assessment resources, ALEKS tutorials, and selections for extended learning. The fourth tab, My Content Collections, identified by the stack of folders icon, is a personal workspace for Alabama educators to organize and build digital resources. Key features include curating and organizing, build custom collections, and bookmark your favorite materials in a centralized hub. Content creation, access the My Content Sandbox to develop original resources. Instructional tools, use the Lesson Plan Companion and Sparkle Student Activities to design engaging classroom content. In this example, there are additional categories listed. If you have not added any categories, it is likely that My Content Sandbox is the only item listed. Let's get started by selecting Create a New Content Collection. Enter a collection title. This is the only field that is required. You may also enter a collection category and a description if you would like. Creating units within the collection is a way to assist you with organizing your lessons. Click Save to create your collection. After creating your collection, you have the option to add content, edit unit, add a new unit to this collection, and edit collection. Click Add Content to curate learning resources for your collection. In the next window, you have the option to search existing learning resources, import shared resources from another ALEKS educator, or create new learning resources. To add existing ALEKS learning resources to your collection, type a search term and press Enter. You may also narrow results by selecting a subject area. The search results will display lesson plans, mini-lessons, and resources that include the search term. Click on the checkbox to select Learning Resources. After selecting the learning resources, click Add Selected Items button. Choose to copy the items or create a shortcut. A shortcut remains linked to the original, ensuring any future updates are reflected automatically. Make this selection if you are going to use the lesson as it is. In contrast, a copy creates a static version of the resource that will not update if the original changes. You must make a copy if you would like to edit the lesson. Then select Done. Whichever you select will now be located in the new collection you created. The purpose of the My Content Sandbox on the ALEKS website is to provide a dedicated workspace where you can edit existing educational content and create brand new content for your personal use. There are 3 categories in My Content Sandbox: Lesson, Sparkle Student Activities, and Other Resources. Select one. Then you can either open a saved lesson or add new content as you did earlier, but this will be placed in your sandbox and enable editing options. We will look deeper at creating new lessons and utilizing other AI features in another video, the Lesson Plan Companion. While these resources are vetted for quality and pedagogy, please ensure any materials you use align with your district's acceptable use policy. Once a lesson is opened, it will look like what we saw in the content collections, with more options at the bottom. If you would like to edit a lesson, it is necessary to select Copy Lesson for my use first. You will not be able to edit lesson by selecting the pencil icon, as only administrators of this site have those credentials. Making a copy of a lesson follows almost the identical steps for sharing a lesson with a colleague that you saw earlier. The 2 differences are, the initial icon you select here will be in the small green circle, and the second difference is, when given the choice to make a copy or create a shortcut, you will select Copy. As we conclude this video, we want to make you aware that Alabama Learning Exchange is continually improving its website, as well as producing helpful tutorials that are available on its YouTube channel, at Teach with ALEKS. Continue to check those 2 resources for updates and new information. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're thrilled to help you dive into Alabama Learning Exchange. We hope you feel equipped and confident to utilize this site as you implement the use of technology with intentionality. This video was made in conjunction with Alabama Leaders in Educational Technology's ALTIC program. These resources were used and/or studied in the making of this video. Find more details in the ALEKS LOR How to Handbook at alabamalearningexchange.org.